Hello and welcome to Financial Intelligence. In this video, I want to talk about the IRS. There are two tax systems in the US, one for the upper class and one for the middle/lower class. Nothing illustrates this better than the IRS ignoring wealthy tax cheats while penalizing low-income workers over small mistakes. Every year, the IRS loses hundreds of agents to retirement without the ability to fully replace them due to years of budget cuts. Since auditing poor taxpayers is a lot easier, the IRS has shifted its focus away from the upper class to the middle/lower class. The government's decision to cut the IRS budget is intentional and illogical. From the perspective of the federal budget, investments in tax enforcement pay for themselves and then some. That is because a fully staffed IRS will bring in an additional tax revenue that is much larger than the budget required to fund the IRS. In this video, I'm going to show you how the IRS has systematically targeted the poor in recent years. If you like the type of content that I provide, subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up, and also hit the notification bell so that you won't miss any of my future videos. Every year, the IRS, starved of funds after years of budget cuts, loses hundreds of agents to retirement. And every year, the news gets better for the rich, especially those prone to go bold on their taxes. Corporations and the wealthy are the biggest beneficiaries of the decay of the IRS. Most Americans' interaction with the IRS is largely automated, but it takes specialized, well-trained personnel to audit a business or a billionaire or to unravel a tax scheme. And those employees are leaving the IRS in droves and taking their expertise with them. Recently, the IRS released its data book for fiscal year 2019, which showed just how serious the toll of diminished resources on audit coverage has been. In fiscal year 2010, the IRS received around 230 million returns and employed 13,879 revenue agents. By fiscal year 2019, the agency was receiving 253 million returns, nearly a 10% increase. However, due to budget cuts, it had just 8,526 revenue agents employed to examine them. I will add the link to the data in the description box below so that you can check it out if you want to. The number of auditors employed by the IRS is down a third from 2010. The last time the IRS had fewer than 10,000 revenue agents was 1953, when the economy was a seventh of its current size. And the IRS is still shrinking. Almost a third of its remaining employees will be eligible to retire in the next year, and with morale plummeting, many of them will. As a result of all this, the audit rate, which is defined as the percentage of tax returns that the IRS audits, has fallen dramatically, especially for ultra-wealthy individuals and businesses. This chart shows the trend of audit rate for individuals earning $10 million and more, earning between $5 million and $10 million, and earning between $1 million and $5 million. For example, in tax year 2010, the IRS examined nearly 1/4 of individuals with a reported income of $10 million or higher, but since then, audit coverage has dropped precipitously to roughly around 7%. This data was published in 2020, but the actual data does not go beyond 2016. The reason is that the US Department of the Treasury has not finalized the numbers for 2017 and onward, because these audits take years to complete. The net result of the IRS being understaffed is that the poor taxpayers continue to bear the brunt of the IRS's remaining force. That is because the IRS wants to report a decent coverage rate to the Congress, But since auditing the wealthy is time consuming, they are shifting their focus to auditing the poor. For example, Americans who receive the Earned Income Tax Credit are audited at a higher rate than all but the richest taxpayers. The Earned Income Tax Credit, or EITC, is one of the country's largest anti-poverty programs, and it aims to help low to moderate income workers and families get a tax break. The new data shows that audits of the rich continue to plunge while those of the poor hold steady, and the two audit rates are converging. Last year, the top 1% of taxpayers by income were audited at a rate of 1.56%. EITC recipients, who typically have annual income under $20,000, were audited at 1.41%. Congress has asked the IRS to report on why it audits the poor more than the affluent. Its response is that it doesn't have enough money and people to audit the wealthy properly. The reason is very simple. Auditing the rich is hard. It takes senior auditors hours upon hours to complete an exam. Since the rate of attrition is significantly higher among these more experienced IRS auditors, the budget cuts have hit this part of the IRS particularly hard. On the other hand, auditing poor taxpayers is a lot easier. The agency uses relatively low-level employees to audit returns for low-income taxpayers who claim the Earned Income Tax Credit. The most recent data published by the Congressional Budget Office, or CBO for short, estimate that from 2011 to 2013, the IRS was unable to collect $381 billion in taxes even after audits. The rich are responsible for an outsized share of the tax gap, both because they would owe more and because they have more opportunities to dodge taxes. Income for wage earners and Social Security recipients is highly visible to the IRS because of third-party reporting. The IRS has much less visibility into business income and capital gains, which flow overwhelmingly to people with higher income. This does not have to be the case. In its report, the CBO provided new analysis that estimated that increasing IRS funding by just $20 billion over the next 10 years would help close the tax gap by bringing in an additional $61 billion in tax revenue, or $103 billion from $40 billion of additional funds. The CBO's report thus reinforces what is already known. From the perspective of the federal budget, investments in tax enforcement pay for themselves and then some. I hope that you liked this video. If you have any recommendation or suggestion, add them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so that you won't miss any of my future videos. Thank you and take care.